Bo Derek was once one of the most iconic names in Hollywood, a symbol of beauty, fame, and stardom. But time changes everything. And at 69, her story has taken a direction that fans were not prepared for. What she has been through in recent years is emotional, quiet, and deeply personal. And once you hear all of it, you will completely understand why so many people who grew up loving her cannot watch this without crying. She was born Mary Kathleen Collins in Long Beach, California, a girl with no particular Hollywood connections and no roadmap to fame. She was just 16 years old when she met director John Derek, a man 30 years her senior, and the trajectory of her entire life changed in an instant. He saw something in her. He became her mentor, her director, her manager, and eventually her husband. He shaped her image, controlled her career, and placed her at the center of the 1979 film that made her an overnight global phenomenon. That slow-motion beach run in a swimsuit and cornrows in the film 10 did not just make Bo Derek famous. It made her an icon. A perfect 10. A symbol that an entire generation pinned to their walls and carried in their hearts for decades. But behind that symbol was a young woman who never fully owned her own story. John Derek directed every film she appeared in. He decided what she wore, how she looked, and what roles she took. The world saw Bo Derek as the most desired woman on the planet, and privately she was a woman whose entire identity had been constructed and controlled by someone else from the age of 16. She has spoken about it gently and without bitterness. But the reality sits there quietly underneath everything, a girl who became a goddess before she ever had the chance to simply become herself. Then in 1998, John Derek died of heart failure. Bo was 42 years old. The man who had been the architect of her entire adult life, her husband, her director, her creative partner for over 2 decades, was gone. And she was left to figure out, for the very first time, who Bo Derek actually was when nobody was telling her. That grief and that identity reckoning happened entirely out of the public eye. She simply disappeared, and the world moved on without her. What followed was years of genuine personal reinvestment. Multiple orthopedic surgeries from decades of horse riding. A passionate advocacy career for disabled veterans through the Department of Veterans Affairs. An animal rescue foundation she built from scratch. A seat on the California Horse Racing Board. And then, quietly and completely unexpectedly, love. Real love. John Corbett, warm, funny, full of joy, walked into her life and gave her something she had never truly had before. A relationship built entirely on her own terms. They married privately in 2020 after 20 years together and have lived ever since on a farm in Santa Ynez, feeding horses every morning, watching Jeopardy every evening, and building a life so simple and so genuine it barely resembles anything Hollywood ever promised her. At 69, Bo Derek has no upcoming film projects. No red carpet agenda. No desperate comeback. She is just a woman who survived being turned into a symbol, and finally, quietly, beautifully, became a person instead. And somehow that is the most moving thing of all.